For all those moss stitch lovers, the high-rise moss stitch is a really easy variation that will quickly take your crochet skills to new heights. Literally. Since our swatch is 6.5 inches wide, just keep going to transform it into a high-rise scarf. Choose one solid color, then mix in lots of scrap yarn to super stripe. Find the link to the companion pattern in the description below. Begin by forming a slip knot and putting it on your hook. Now, chain an uneven number of chains. I'm working 29 chains to start. Now notice, this is not really tight. You don't want to make this first row tight. Just do a relatively loose chain. So we have 29 chains. I'm going to roll this edge over. In the third chain on the back, we're going to go under the back loop, insert our hook, pull up a loop just like we're going to do a single crochet. But now, instead of yarning over and pulling through two, we're going to yarn over and pull through just one stitch. And now we still have 2 loops on the hook, and we're going to yarn over and go through all 2. And then we're going to perform a chain 1. Now, we're going to skip the next back loop and go into the next one. Insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 1. Now, if you can see, let's do a few more. Skip 1, insert our hook in the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 1. That's a chain. So now we have 3 stitches on here plus our chain 2 turning chain. So now we're going to continue to skip 1 and we're going to do this all the way across. And you should end with 1 in the last chain, and I'll meet you when we get there. And we're already at the end. Isn't that amazing? Okay, we're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and instead of chaining 1, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now, if you look at the stitch, you have, from this side, it looks like you have 2 chains and a longer strand. And that's what you're supposed to have. But when you turn it, you can see the longer strand. You want to make sure that you insert your hook in the big space, not between the strand and the chain up, okay? So, in this case, we're going to go right into this chain 1 space, pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 1. Into the next space, making sure you don't separate the stitch, okay? So, insert into the big space, pull up a loop, chain 1, or pull through 1, pull through 2, and chain 1. Into the next one, it is really a rapid stitch, and that's the benefit of it. And wait till we get a little bit further, you'll see what the fabric is doing. Okay? You see how I can speed up so easily? When we get to the end, I want to show you how to do the turn, because this is your pattern row from this point on. Row 2 is it. It's a 1 row repeat. Once you establish the pattern on the first row, it's all the same from then on. And so it's a really good TV watching kind of pattern. You don't have to think a lot about it. You just do it once you get into the rhythm. We're getting to the end. This is where I want to make sure you don't pick up that loop. You want to make sure that strand belongs to this stitch here. So we insert our hook into the big space, which is right up against the chain up, the turning chain of the row below. Pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull, and then chain 2, turn. Once you've established that, you're going to grow really quickly. I'm just going to do a couple more rows, and I'm going to join you because I'm going to change to a different color and show you how this scarf is going to develop, because it's a fun scarf. What's nice about the stitch is it's a third faster. And how do I know that? Because when I measured my moss stitch, my regular moss stitch, I got 6 rows to 2 inches. And when I measured this one, I got 4 rows for 2 inches. So it's growing significantly faster. Both sides of this stripe have like a sawtooth effect. And I think that is one of the most charming parts of the moss stitch. Here's how to add your new yarn on. Do you see this upper, the full strand of yarn going to the top? Remember, that is part of this edge stitch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert right in between it and attach another scrap of yarn, pull up a loop, and just chain my 2 using 2 strands of the yarn. Now I'm going to pull this through here, that end through, and I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to weave it in yet again later. Now when I go to do my stitch, I make sure I pull this bar over to the edge where it belongs and begin working my high-rise moss stitch. Technically, you're making a high-rise single crochet, and you're pulling that loop up, pulling through 1, and then, which makes it taller, then pulling through 2. And that is the high-rise single crochet, and then a chain 1. You can sort of see it better on this color. Pull up the loop, pull through 1, pull through 2, then pull and make a chain. And we're going to go and keep going. I just got so enthused I couldn't stop. It's like addictive. If you like the moss stitch, this is a faster moss stitch. Here you got to make sure you get in there and between the end stitch. There we go. And there we go. Now that is a 1 row. I had just enough to do 1 row. So at my end of my color, I'm trimming that off, pulling that through, and weaving this in. When you look at it from the front, the high-rise single crochet looks like it's 2 chains on top of each other, stacked. And then you'll see this little bar behind. This is the last side that you worked. The back side looks a little bit different. You have what looks sort of like a single crochet where you have 1 long strand here and then this stitch like a V. You want to always attach your yarn on the back side of the last row so that you can continue on. Now I'm alternating all my colors the same way as before, where I'm sticking my hook. See this bar, that long bar there? I'm sticking it between those on the end. That keeps my end stitches nice and toward the end. I'm giving myself enough space so I have enough yarn to weave in. There, I'm chaining 2. I'm pulling that through. Then I'm going to reassociate this bar with the end stitch. So I'm inserting into that big space, pulling up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 2, and chain 1. Insert, pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 2, chain 1. And you're going to continue. Now, do you see how this is exciting? Here, this is a 1 row of color. I have that repeated down here. Here it is in yellow. See how it looks? Where I only do 1 row of the color, and it's almost like little dots are forming. Long dots, dashes going this way. And it kind of gives you an interesting effect. So you can vary between 2 or 1. I just am using up every scrap of yarn I have. I hope you enjoyed learning how to crochet the high-rise moss stitch scarf. Coming soon, we will finish the scarf with an extra special edging. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!